Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are plugging away at Act 3, Scene 1 of Henry VI, Part 2, and today we get to hear from the king himself, who hasn't said a ton in this scene. He kicked us off by saying, like, why hasn't Gloucester shown up to court yet? That's not like him. And the queen is like, that's totally like him, because he's skeevy and untrustworthy and he's trying to undo you. And everybody else just sort of chimes in and they're like, yep, he's trying to undo you, so yeah. And then a messenger comes in and says that they've lost all the territories that they had previously won in France, and the Duke of York is like, well, that sucks for me. And then Gloucester comes in and he's like, hey everybody, and they're like, you're under arrest, and he's like, what for? And they're like, for this, and he's like, I never did this, and they're like, well, for that, and he's like, I never did that, and they're like, well, we have our reasons, which we'll tell you later, you're under arrest, and he's like, you're all full of crap, and they basically drag him out kicking and screaming to take him to go be under arrest. And when he's gone, the king is like, whatever you guys are gonna do, just do it, just pretend I was still here for it. And the queen is like, is something wrong, hun? And he says, I, Margaret, my heart is drowned with grief, whose flood begins to flow within my eyes, my body round and girt with misery, for what's more miserable than discontent? Uncle Humphrey, in thy face I see the map of honor, truth, and loyalty. And yet, good Humphrey, is the hour come that ere I proved thee false or feared thy faith. What lowering star now envies thy estate, that these great lords, and Margaret our queen, do seek subversion of thy harmless life? Thou never didst them wrong, nor no man wrong. And as the butcher takes away the calf, and binds the wretch, and beats it when it strays, bearing it to the bloody slaughterhouse, even so remorseless have they borne him hence. And as the dam runs lowing up and down, looking the way her harmless young one went, and can do naught but wail her darling's loss, even so myself bewails good Gloucester's case, with sad, unhelpful tears, and with dimmed eyes look after him, and cannot do him good, so mighty are his vowed enemies. His fortunes will I weep, and twixt each groan say, who's a traitor? Gloucester, he is none. So the king is like the only person in the country that is on Gloucester's side and thinks that this is all a sham and a setup, which it kind of sort of is. So he's very sad about it, and he goes away to be sad about it. And as soon as he has left the room, which he does as soon as this monologue is over, the queen has some things to say, and they just happen to be tomorrow's monologue. So I'm not going to tell you what happens next, because you got to tune in tomorrow to find out. Anyway, I'll see you then. Mwah.